going to call to order the regularly scheduled meeting of the Murphysboro Community Unit District 186. And Mrs. Hines, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bain?
Here.
Mr. Beavers?
Here.
Mrs. Brazel? Here. Mr. Green? Mr. Brown?
Here.
Mrs. Evaldi? Here. Mr. Rungy?
Here. Next item is Pledge of Allegiance. Mrs. Evaldi, will you be so kind?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey Terry, you might want to take the
Next item is the approval of the agenda. Dr. Evers, are there any changes to the agenda as printed?
No, sir.
And I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the approval of the consent agenda, which consists of District 186 regular board meeting minutes dated October the 19th, 2021, Tri-County minutes dated October 13th, 2021, Tri-County bills for November 2021, applications and reports, and I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6 is the approval of District 186 bills for November of 2021. I'll open the floor for any questions from the board for Mrs. Bush. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bills as presented. In a second?
Second.
Mrs. Hines.
Mr. Beavers?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mrs. Brazel?
Yes.
Mr. Green? Mrs. Evaldi?
Yes.
Mr. Bain?
Yes.
Mr. Rungy?
Yes. Motion carries. Item number 7 is communications. Do you have some?
We do, we have 4.
Okay.
The first one's from Lisa Marlowe. Dear Dr. Evers, please accept my resignation effective November the 26th, 2021. As you know, I've accepted a position with Tri-County Special Education. The experience I've gained at District 186 has provided me with the knowledge to work in a variety of settings. I have worked with wonderful individuals at Murphysboro School District and hope to stay in touch with this amazing group of professionals. Sincerely, Lisa Marlowe.
And I'll entertain a motion to accept that resignation.
So moved.
In a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next one is from Kim and Jimmy Brown. Please accept this as our resignation letter from both the MMS and MHS assistant softball coach and the MHS head softball coach. We started this endeavor as a team with our fair share of ups and downs, broken records, and an immeasurable amount of memories. Now we plan to end as a team. Our plans for the future include traveling to watch our future Red Devil grandson in his many sports and our youngest daughter, whom we have had the honor of coaching, compete at the collegiate level. We have truly enjoyed our time coaching and wish the program the best of luck in the future. We have no doubt that Coach Cook and Coach Alexander, given the opportunity, will lead the program with great ability and leadership. Thank you for the opportunity to coach these young ladies and help shape our youth into the athletes they are today. It's been a great ride. Sincerely, Kimberly Brown and Jimmy Brown.
I'll entertain a motion to accept that resignation from both of those.
So moved.
In a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next one is from Haley Weisnat. Dr. Evers and school board members, this letter is to inform you of my anticipated maternity leave. My scheduled induction date is November the 13th. However, we know babies are unpredictable and can have a mind of their own. Therefore, it could be sooner if she decides she's ready before then. With this being said, the anticipated start date of my maternity leave would be November the 11th with a return date of January the 3rd. Thank you for your support and flexibility. And by the way, she did have a baby girl. Yesterday, so her, yeah.
Don't approve, yeah.
Well, then I'll accept a motion to approve that maternity leave.
So moved.
In a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next one is from Carly Butler. Dear members of the Murphysboro CUSD 186 Board of Education, I have recently enrolled in the graduate program at Southeast Missouri State University in elementary education. I plan to complete my master's degree in August of 22 and would ask that this step be applied to my pay when completed. Thank you in advance for this opportunity to improve my instructional practices. Sincerely, Carly Butler.
I'll entertain a motion to approve those classes for Ms. Butler.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, and on behalf of the board, we want to wish all of them all the best. Is anyone else hot in here? I'm seeing some heads. Mr. Carrington, could you?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Cold when I left and hot when I got there.
All right, and item number 8 is the fishbowl items, and I see a fishbowl, so I guess we have something.
Got one?
Okay.
This is from Mr. Elmeyer. I just wanted to update you on the progress of the credit recovery program. Ms. Burr informed me today that there have been over 90 courses completed so far this semester. The students are determined to make it up to 100 courses by Thanksgiving break. There are quite a few of them that have really seen their potential, and this program has given them the confidence boost they needed to finish school. One has graduated, 4 seniors are back on track for graduation, and 4 juniors that could possibly be caught up by December. So amazing to see all of their progress. I just wanted you to hear about their success. Very good.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
90 right now. That was 90 last week, on track for 100 by next Tuesday, so that's pretty exciting. We're
And,
talking about
and that's
sections.
nine students total that have been in that, or?
No, there's 15 total.
15 total?
As of right now. Well, there's been 16, because when one graduated, we moved another student that was behind him. So there's been 16 total within the program, completed 90 courses.
Awesome.
So,
Great job. All right, next item is a Freedom of Information Act request. We had 2, one from Local Labs and one from Smart Procure, and the information was provided in a timely manner. This is informational items only. Next item is the recognition of the audience. The Board of Education welcomes the audience to make public or employee comments. The board has set aside time in the agenda specifically for this purpose. Pursuant to Board Policy 2.230, each speaker shall be limited to a 5-minute presentation. Please be aware that while this is the time for the public to express its opinions and/or concerns, the board may or may not comment regarding public presentations. If a matter of public comment warrants discussion or action of the Board of Education, such discussion or action will be added to the agenda of a future meeting. Are there any public concerns?
I have some things to
Okay.
address the board about with regard to the transportation contract.
I need you to step forward a little bit and state your name for the record, please.
Shauna Hale
Okay?
with West Bus Service. Is this the appropriate time to?
You're on.
Okay, all right, perfect. So, obviously, we bid on your transportation contract and we were the low bidder. We got a phone call today stating that the committee that was in charge of coordinating the bid and all of that was not recommending us for the transportation contract. I'm sure you all have seen the bid numbers and they are significant, we are significantly lower. So, the only information that we've really been given regarding this is something about references and our percentage based on the references, which we really don't understand how those numbers were brought to, and we don't really have a lot of information. We would like the board to remember that we have been your contractor for 36 years, and we have provided safe, reliable, dependable, quality service at a very good price that has saved your district a lot of money. We're all from here. We're a family business. We pay taxes in Jackson County. So that's, goes to, the amount of the bid difference that you're talking about, is about $1 million over 3 years. That's Illinois taxpayer money. And there's no good reason that I've been given that it should go to a different contractor to spend an extra $1 million. We don't have a good reason right now on why that's valid. And if there was something wrong with our service, I think I would have heard about it when we renewed the last time for this school year that we were asked to do. So, as far as, unless the law has changed dramatically, the law is give the bid to the lowest responsible bidder meeting specifications and your specs, which I think we have, and we should have a great recommendation from this district because I've worked with Jan for a very long time and had, no significant problems that I can remember. We just can't understand what's going on and what reason there is to spend that much more of the Illinois taxpayers' money, and that's what that is. And that action is definitely opening your district up to litigation. I wanna be clear on that, because this is not fair. 36 years, it's a slap in the face, it's not right. We've done right by you guys and this district for a long time. Anything I'm missing? And that's what I have to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Hale. Are there any other public concerns? Are there any employee concerns? All right, we will move into old business. First item is the approval of the bus transportation bid, which is enclosure number 1 in your packet. Dr. Evers?
Absolutely. The bus committee held its first meeting on September 15th and developed the bid specifications. The committee consisted of Dr. Andrea Evers, myself, Ms. Jan Bush, business manager and committee chair, board members, Mr. Kevin Boehm and Mr. Shannon Green, and principals, Mr. Elmeyer and Mr. Hernan. The specs were examined by the board's legal representation on September 21st. The advertisement was published in the Southern Illinoisan on October 22nd. A mandatory pre-bid meeting was held at 10 a.m. on October 29th. 32 questions were answered in writing by Ms. Bush to all who attended the mandatory pre-bid meeting. The bid opening was held on November 9th at 10 a.m. The Transportation Committee met today to evaluate proposals. As clearly defined in the bid specs, dollar amount was only one consideration in the award. The committee considered several factors, including safety, reliability, comfort, and professional references. Reference checks were performed on both West and Robinson. The reference checks considered 4 factors: safety, number 1, safety; 2, dependability and on-time performance; 3, ease in working with the management; and 4, sufficient staffing. The overall summative rating of those 4 factors was a 94.25% for Robinson and a 64% for West. It is the recommendation of the committee to award the transportation contract to Robinson Transport.
All right, I will open the floor to any questions from the board. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommendation from administration.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Mrs. Hines?
Mrs. Evaldi?
Yes.
Mrs. Brazel?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Boehm?
Yes.
Mr. Beavers?
Yes.
Mr. Rungy?
Yes, motion carries. And on behalf of the board, I want to thank Dr. Evers, Mrs. Bush, Mr. Elmeyer, Mr. Hernan, Mr. Boehm, and Mr. Green for working on this. This is, it was a lot, and we certainly appreciate your efforts in this. Now we'll move into new business. Item number 1 is the resolution to establish preliminary tax levy, which is enclosure number 2 in your packet. And I will open the floor for questions from the board for Mrs. Bush. Mrs. Bush, is there anything that you want to add to this? I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
It is, the preliminary levy that I sent out to you with the board packet, without the bond and interest levy, $8,460,000, which represents, I believe it's 4.97% increase of what we extended or received in the 2020 tax levy. Just as I said in the board agenda, I did talk to get information from the assessor's office, and it looks like that should, based on those preliminary numbers, that should more than cover us for the levy. Of course, we're under tax caps. The CPI Consumer Price Index is only 1.4% this year, so we always do get an adjustment due to the Consumer Price Index.
Hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion then to approve the preliminary tax levy.
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
Second.
Mrs. Hines?
Mr. Boehm,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mrs. Evaldi,
Yes.
Mr. Beavers,
Yes.
Mrs. Brazel,
Yes.
Mr. Rungy.
Yes, motion carries, and because that tax levy is under the 5%, we will not have a need to set a hearing date, time, and place, so item 2 will be struck from the agenda.
Okay.
Which means we have a need to go into closed session.
Briefly.
I make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to section 2 of the Open Meetings Act 5 Illinois compiled statutes 120/2C to review the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee to determine its validity, discussion of a student disciplinary case, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Hines?
Mr. Beavers,
Yes.
Mrs. Evaldi,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Boehm,
Yes.
Mrs. Brazel,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Rungy.
Yes, motion carries.